Sanctuary, Office and Work of the High Priest, compiled by Shirley Jean Street and read by Wayne T. Street. This study comes from an insightful student of the sanctuary, Stephen Haskell, in his book, The Cross and Its Shadow. Office and Work of the High Priest. Earthly priests and high priests. Jesus, our high priest. In the early times, the patriarchs were priests over their own household, and God's original design was that the eldest son should take his father's place as priest of the family. But the plan of God was often thwarted by the sins of the eldest son. The Lord's words to Cain would indicate that he was debarred of his inherited position on account of sin. If you do well, should you not have the excellency? And if you do not well, sin lies at the door. Genesis 4, verse 7. On account of sin, Reuben, the firstborn of Jacob, lost the excellency of dignity and the excellency of power, which was his inherited right. Genesis 49, verses 3 to 4. When but a youth, Joseph cultivated those traits of character that gave him the excellency above his brothers. It is very probable that the coat of many colors given him by his father, Genesis 37, verses 3 and 4, was interpreted by his brothers as indicating his accession to priesthood. God gave his firstborn for the redemption of the world. And for that reason, in God's plan, the firstborn always inherited special privileges. To him came a double portion of his father's estate. Deuteronomy 21, verse 17. The priesthood and the firstborn in the descent from Isaac, the honor of being the progenitor of the Messiah. If the firstborn proved unworthy, his inheritance was given to others. As in the case of Reuben, Judah became the progenitor of Jesus. Joseph received the double portion, and Levi received the priesthood. 1 Chronicles 5, verses 1 and 2, and Numbers, verses 6 and verse 9. The firstborn was so often unworthy on account of sin that when the Lord brought Israel out of Egypt, he said, I have taken the Levites from among the children of Israel instead of all the firstborn of Israel. Therefore the Levites shall be mine. Numbers 3, verses 12 and 13. It was because the tribe of Levi stood true to God in time of a crisis that God chose them to serve before him. Deuteronomy 33, verses 8 to 11. And when the service of the sanctuary was established, the priesthood was given to Aaron and his sons. And the remainder of the tribe of Levi were to do the work of the sanctuary under the direction of the priests. Exodus 28, verse 1. Aaron was appointed to officiate as high priest and his sons as common priest, the eldest son to take the office of high priest on Aaron's death. Exodus 29, verse 29.